Okay, so today I have an interesting topic for you guys, and I think it's going to be very interesting, and I'm excited to show you guys. It's actually one of the biggest viewed blog posts on our website, and yeah, let's just get to it. Let's just get right to it. I'm gonna unhide this so you can see what it is. I want it to be a little surprise. Alrighty. So, what it is horse jockeys. How big are they? And their fight to make weight. So the average horse jockey weighs about 100. Well, the average horse jockey weighs about 115 pounds, but it ranges. Some weigh 105, some weigh. Look, let's just read right here. On average, a horse jockey weighs between 108 to 118 pounds, and their average height is 4'10 to 5'6". And much like boxers, it takes a lot of hard work and discipline for a rider to maintain weight. So, the average male is 5'9", 200 pounds. The average male jockey is 5'2", 113. And what just happened? So let's just continue and act like that didn't happen. The average male jockey is 5'2" and 113. So the average female in the United States is 5'4", 170. That doesn't sound too healthy to me, but that's the average female. The average female jockey is 5'2", 107. Now that actually sounds pretty healthy to me. Okay, let's keep scrolling. Okay, so here's the thing. Is why can't jockeys be big? Well, it's pretty simple to understand that. You want the lightest thing as possible on your horse so that way it can run faster. And, think if you're in a foot race with a guy and y'all both have book bags on. One guy has a book bag on that's filled with 50 pounds worth of sand, and your bag is filled with 100 pounds worth of sand. Do you think you're going to beat him in that race? No. Unless you're that much stronger and that much faster, but you just want the lightest person as possible to be riding your horse. So, not to mention, see, the racing commission set a minimum weight for each horse in a race because they didn't want people to just be. Because you know how stuff is where everybody takes things too far. There would be guys going out there weighing 70 pounds and stuff like that. So they had to limit that, and it's typically their minimum weight is typically around 115, 116 pounds, which includes tack. So obviously there's no minimum height requirement, but the tack is pretty much like everything else on the horse, like the saddle, the halter, not the halter, the headstall, stuff like that. I'm sure that weighs almost nothing because that it's so small. I see guys carry at the racetrack. I see guys carrying them. Those little midget jockeys. They're carrying them with one arm. And they weigh 115 pounds. And if you want to learn more about the saddle weights, you can come to our website and go to this blog post and scroll down. You'll see this video right here. So, here's a quote from a Hall of Fame jockey. His name's Eddie Arcaro. Sorry, it's a little tongue twister. But here's his thing. Quote, "Some riders will all but saw their legs off to get within the limit." End quote. And what I get from that is they'll do anything. They're not willing to saw their legs off, but they'll do anything to get that to get to the right weight. So this is another thing. This is where it gets kind of interesting. So what methods do they use? Well, forced vomiting is one. They use the term flipping. Not very healthy to do that. Skipping meals, so they just don't eat. Doesn't sound very healthy. Laxatives, so they just poop out all the poop as much as possible to lose as much weight as possible. Dehydration doesn't sound too healthy to me. I don't know about you. And then excessive exercise, which actually exercise is very healthy. But the thing is, look, they're wearing rubber suits and heavy wetsuits while they're also dehydrated. Not healthy. That's not healthy. And then here we go with the rest of the unhealthiness. Smoking. They smoke tobacco, cigarettes to curb their appetite. That's not even a real thing. That's a myth. But you know, I'm probably gonna get backlash for that. People are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it is not a myth. It definitely is true." I did some research on that, and it's a myth. There's no clinical studies that support that claim. And then diet pills, which everybody knows is bullcrap. So let's move on. Actually, let's go ahead and skip this one because look, this is jockeys suffer serious health problems to make weight. Obviously they do. I just went over these things they do to do it. They're going to have serious health problems. So we're going to skip that. And also we're going to skip this one because their bones become fragile. I mean, they're not eating. So yeah, they're throwing up what they do eat. So yeah, their bones are going to be fragile. So these jockeys are throwing up so much. I'm talking about this one here. These jockeys are throwing up so much that they're eroding their teeth. You know, and it goes even further. Forced vomiting alone leads to tooth erosion, cavities, gum problems, water retention, abdominal bloating, stomach distress, fluid loss with low potassium levels, irregular or lack of menstrual periods for women, swallowing difficulties, esophagus damage, and in some severe cases, rupture of the esophagus and weakened rectal walls. Now, I'll tell you this. These guys are dedicated. Because, you ain't gonna catch me doing all that shit. And like I said before, they use laxatives to drop weight. That's pretty obvious. Oh, I want you guys to see this video. It's a really cool video. It's too much time on this.
Unboxu, stop!
Here, I'll put some sound by it. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Sorry about that. Skipping a little bit. But that's pretty cool. That's some good footage. That is pretty cool. Now I'm gonna fast forward a little bit more and go to the end. Or does he end up winning? Wait, I'm gonna go back. I want to see who wins. They must still be racing around here. Oh no, they're not. They're just walking around. Where's the finish line? Oh, here it is. Oh, he didn't win. He got like 5th place. Okay, I'm tired of watching this skip. Yeah. So yeah, that was a good footage. Okay, so why are there weight restrictions for jockeys? So the simplest answer is the horse's health. You know, they don't want to hurt the horse. Those horses are worth some of them are worth millions of dollars, and I mean, you don't want to mess some horses up. And also, you know, when you have a horse, it doesn't matter what breed it is, a racehorse, a donkey, you know, their legs are the most important thing on them. If a horse's leg breaks, you got to put them down. You know, they're dead. And like it says here, I didn't even know it said it here. I just mentioned it myself. But they believe that increasing the weight of the rider would lead to more breakdowns of the racehorse. Specifically, they believe there would be more leg injuries from carrying the heavier weight. Now, a leg injury is a career-ending injury for a horse. Most of the time. If you're interested in learning more about blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is another thing, is that the exercise riders weigh around like 150, 160 pounds. Like, and that's not necessarily to, like, that's not going to hurt the horse. You know, that's more like wearing weighted gloves when you're hitting the punching bag or something like that. And then you get, you know, when it comes to fight, you got your regular 10-ounce gloves or whatever size gloves you have. So have there ever been any tall jockeys? The answer is yes to that. I can tell you that. So this is an interesting story. There has been some tall jockeys. I'm going to read it verbatim. There's been some tall jockeys. In Australia, Stuart Brown held the record for being the tallest jockey in his country at nearly 6'3". So that's pretty huge. You know, that's a foot taller than most of these other ones, and over a foot taller than most of these other jockeys. And although he was unusually tall and had to battle to meet the required weight, he still had a long and successful career. It's a cool story. So, tallest jockey ever to win the Kentucky Derby is a guy named Johnny Sellers, and he was 5'7". Oh, and a quarter. 5'7" and a quarter. Sorry. Don't you love that whenever guys are like, oh, I'm 5'11" and an eighth? Like, come on now, you're 5'11", shut up. But the tallest male jockey that is still riding, his name is Richard Hughes. He's from the United Kingdom and he's 5'10". The tallest jockey currently riding, regardless of gender, is a lady named Louise Moller from Denmark, and she reaches the lofty height of 6'1" and weighs 112 pounds. Now, it's different for men and women. You know, that's really that's unhealthy for her to be that weight. But the fact that guy up here, this guy Stuart Brown, was 6'3", and he was having to weigh 115, 112 pounds, something like that. It's way different because like that guy needs that muscle. So how much money do jockeys earn? I don't have to even read this to tell you that there's a big pay gap between jockeys that run at small racetracks and at big ones. You know, the jockeys that run at the Kentucky Derby, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You know, like, wait, I think it might say, yeah, here we go. So most jockeys earn between $30,000 to $40,000 per year, and I think that those numbers are kind of high. I think it's more like $15,000 to $30,000 per year if you average it out. And it says that they, you know, some races only pay $28. Now, if you're dealing with some Triple Crown competition, that's when you're making bank. You know. Like if you're in the Kentucky Derby, you're in the Preakness, you're in the Belmont, $124,000 is a lot of money, and that's up front. That's not like money if they win. That's money up front. If you win the race, you get even more. Are there any women jockeys? Okay, I have to ask my dad why he even put this, because right here he talks about this lady. Whatever. So yeah, I could have. There's obviously women jockeys. This is kind of interesting. A lady named Anna Lee Allred was the first woman in the United States to be awarded a jockey license at the age of 18 in 1939. The first female jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby was Diane Crump in 1970. So that concludes the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you to karate chop that like button. I want you to do a spinning back kick to that subscribe button, because we don't just smash it like everybody else does. I don't say smash that like button. We're gonna karate chop it. Give it a karate chop, or a roundhouse kick that subscribe button. But also comment. Make friends in the comment sections if you can, because it helps the algorithm. I mean, if you like the videos, if you truly like the videos, then comment on them. It helps the algorithm, so that way it shows up more on other people's main page of YouTube. So just, if you like the video, just subscribe, like. Don't forget to use your karate chops and your spinning back fist. But also comment, because comments are important for the algorithm. And I really appreciate everybody that watches the video. I love you guys. Y'all have a great day, and visit the website, horseracingsense.com.